I've been in the business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart. Like, I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off.
I'm a ritual abuse survivor, which means my mom sacrificed children and a whole bunch more evil to satisfy her sick desires. And that includes SA. And I've experienced SA in different ways, but one of the main ways was something called the carpet rub. I'm sharing this with you in hopes to give others a better understanding of how sick and evil minds can work, in this case regarding SA. So today, let's talk about the carpet rub. When my mom said carpet rub, it was like the trigger word. We would have to go to her room and do the carpet rub. The carpet rub was my mom, and this is very culty. I'm a middle child. Things were based on age. My mom would sit in her bed, and I'm going to be very vague because this is social media. And I remember my younger sister would have to please my mom. And behind my younger sister, I had to please myself while watching my younger sister please my mom. Behind me, I remember my older sister pleasing herself while watching me, while I watched my younger sister please my mom, who was at the top.
I was born into a Satanic family going back quite a few generations. In front life, my mother was a sex worker. In back life, she was a slave to some other members of her family and also non-family members who were part of the cult networks. I was sold to a man that I knew as Louis Valou. This guy named Louis Valou was part of organized crime in Lower Manhattan in Chinatown, and he was one of my handlers growing up. There was a period where he was grooming me essentially to take his position. I had to do a lot of physical violence towards other children as part of his initiations, and some of that culminated in public death matches, cage matches with other children in Chinatown for paying audiences. Different politicians would show up sometimes, actors would show up sometimes, and a lot of the really wealthy people who are anonymous would show up. They took me to private islands in the Bahamas, showed me how some of the trainers were living.
Like the Jeffrey Epstein Island?
Among others, yeah.
You were there?
I was there. When I was being taken to these islands, I would see all kinds of popular and famous people.
That I learned about Zeus Network is they are demonic. All the contestants' names on this show, even mine, trace back to Greek mythology. I'm an avid reader, so that sparked my interest right there. They changed my name on the show to Pied Piper, which is like to what? Pied Piper. What is that? Which is like a medieval folklore type of thing, and it's about a dude that leads 120 kids to their death. You know, yeah, bro, it's some sick demonic stuff, bro, that they into, and I can't rock with that.
They gave you that name?
Yeah, they gave me that name. Like everybody's name on the show traces back to Greek mythology. They got a Greek mythology name, some devilish stuff, bro.
Why can't you have your own name?
That's what I don't understand.
That's some crazy shit. I'm not gonna lie.
In New York, right? This is the first time I've shared this story publicly. I was doing a show one night in New York, and this guy had on sunglasses in the front row. And I said, listen, I'm not going to keep coming back over here seeing you with these sunglasses. There's no sun in here, and you being disrespectful. I need to be able to see you, right? So he laughing, and I walk to the other side of the stage. I come back. I said, you think I'm playing? If you don't take them damn glasses off, Roseanne, he lifted up his glasses and everything was black.
Oh, he didn't have any eyes?
Did you hear what I said?
What?
He lifted up his glasses and everything was black. The energy I got from him was, do you want to comment? I looked back at him and the energy I gave him was, I'ma mind my business and walk my ass back down to the other side of the stage because I want to keep my fat neck. I'm not questioning shit. Keep your glasses on. I bought him a drink too because I didn't want it to go no further. I didn't want him to be offended.
I need to take it so he'll get sick and fucking die. I hate this fucking man. And when I'm watching TikTok, I'll just be doing this the whole time because I'm so pissed off with all the news stories that I got.
What if I told you the Oscars aren't just an award show? The red carpet represents the sacrificed inner liquids, the golden statue, an idol called Sokar, and the winners, chosen to push the narratives they're ordered to. The Oscars don't reward acting in movies. They reward acting in real life. The real Best Actor award goes to those who can play the longest, most convincing role, their own public persona. You see, actors never stop acting. They're curated, scripted, and placed exactly where Hollywood needs them. You think it's about talent? No, it's a selection process, a system that decides who rises, who falls, and who gets humiliation rituals. Think about it. How many Oscar winners flop right after winning? How many face sudden scandals or vanish from the spotlight? Winning isn't a blessing, it's a contract. And once they've served their purpose, they're no longer needed. The golden statue, it's not just a trophy. It's modeled after Ptah or Sokar, the Egyptian god of the underworld, transition and control over those in limbo. And here's the eerie part. Sokar is an anagram of Oscar. Sokar was depicted as faceless, rigid, arms crossed, just like the Oscar statue. Silent, a symbol of submission. They didn't choose this design by accident. It represents how Hollywood transforms people into fake personas.
In the United States, black entertainers, athletes, and celebrities often walk a tightrope. They are rewarded when they align themselves with white-dominated cultural norms and punished when they challenge them. This pattern is not new. It's been part of the entertainment and sports industries for decades. Take Sidney Poitier. In the 1960s, he was celebrated as the first black actor to win an Oscar, but he was also expected to be a safe figure for white audiences. Even at the height of the civil rights movement, he was careful about how he engaged in activism, knowing that stepping too far out of line could cost him roles. Meanwhile, Muhammad Ali, who refused to fight in Vietnam and spoke openly about racism, was stripped of his heavyweight title and vilified in the media. In the 1990s, Michael Jordan became the face of basketball corporate America. But part of his success was tied to his political neutrality, famously summed up in his alleged remark, "Republicans buy sneakers too." Contrast that with Colin Kaepernick, who knelt during the national anthem to protest police brutality. His career ended overnight, not because he couldn't play, but because he refused to conform. We see this pattern in entertainment too. Will Smith was Hollywood's golden boy for decades, known for his clean-cut image and box office appeal. But the moment he stepped outside of expectations, reacting emotionally in a space that demanded he remain composed, his career took a major hit. Meanwhile, Dave Chappelle walked away from a multi-million-dollar deal with Comedy Central because he saw how his comedy was being consumed by white audiences. And they called him crazy. They called him difficult. This isn't just about individual choices. It's about a system that rewards black visibility only when it remains non-threatening. Step outside of those boundaries and the backlash is swift. So the question isn't just who is allowed to succeed, but on what terms. Until black celebrities can exist in their full humanity without being punished, America's celebration of diversity remains conditional at best.